This and the bloody security checks. Another joke.
That is.
What are those security checks? The friendly Labrador comes in, you enter the 5-star hotel, you pat him.
Laptop serial number. I am going to the US consulate this evening for an event.
Laptop serial number?
They will make you write the laptop serial
Why?
numbers.
But
Because
that
they
dangerous.
they want to make sure that the laptop that you carry in is the same laptop you carry out.
Oh, that way. Because you have to keep all the stuff in one area.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
phones
no,
and
imagine walking in with the Windows and walking out with a Mac.
Oh, smart.
That's like,
So don't open an embassy in India because that happens all the time. Can you imagine?
I often say this, and this is on a serious note. I'm a male, privilege. I was born in a Hindu Brahmin family, privilege. I was born fair, privilege. I was born to educated parents, privilege. I was sent to an English medium school, privilege. I grew up in a big city, privilege. Like these 6 things.
US, MBA.
Like these, no, but those are still, I can still perhaps say
but
that they were my
ये 6 है मेरे को 7
तो मैंने कुछ
7
choice
भी है
नहीं था.
इसमें.
हाँ.
I have hair.
I have hair.
हाँ.
I was born with hair.
Sorry, those watching, especially the women. Sorry.
There are so many random things in life that
yeah.
happen to you that you have no role playing. ये 6 चीजों में
No,
मैंने
you know what
कुछ
you've
खास
done?
नहीं था.
All the guys watching who are, young, fair, Hindu, Brahmin, whatever the other things you've mentioned, and are not successful, they're going to be hitting each other with a pan. Because they're like, usne kaha, I was born privileged. I got nothing. All right, hope this is the right camera. We have a lovely guest, very, very rich man, worth billions and billions of dollars. I've done some research. Bro, लिखा है make epic money. अगर लिखा है make epic money तो
It didn't say the number. Epic, according to
अच्छा.
whosoever it is.
अच्छा, but epic means
नहीं 20 साल के लिए epic will be like 5 लाख रुपए. 5 लाख.
that's
रुपए.
true, yeah. It changes too fast, no?
It didn't too fast.
It's the real value of money.
Like it compounds faster than
I know.
desires. Your desires
20
will
years
always
back,
be
I
compounded.
thought I'd have so much more money, and now I'm thinking, this is
कुछ भी नहीं है.
कुछ भी नहीं है. I
Poor
didn't
you,
have
yeah.
this book, yaar. I did not have this
Yes.
book, ladies and gentlemen. I dropped the book. Ankur, I'm so sorry to introduce
You
you.
kept the wealth.
Yeah. I've not kept the wealth.
Oh.
I'm hoping to find the wealth after I read. That's how we sell it, yaar. Read this book and make epic money. It's very simple. Ankur Warikoo, let's welcome him. He needs no introduction. Everybody knows who he is, except me. No, of course, me too. Me too is a terrible.
I know you. That's more important.
Oh.
I grew up watching you.
Ouch. He's older.
You're like,
no.
literally, school se wapas aakar.
Huh.
2 p.m. was Nikhil Chinappa.
Oh my God.
And then 3 p.m. was you and Malika. And
Yeah,
Malaika,
Malaika.
sorry.
You got
And-
Nikhil right.
I was like,
And you're a lover of women.
No, but yes, like, oh my God. And
Ouch.
you were, I still remember, you had said that the first and the only true boy band in the world were Beatles.
Of course.
And for me, the first and the true stand-up comic / comedian / lively person is you.
Oh, so sweet.
This podcast is officially over.
Yeah, I think so.
My bank deposit
think
has
so.
arrived. I am now wealthy.
We don't know where to go because nobody ever says any nice things. I'm not prepared. But let me go back to the book. Of course, this is the third book, right?
Yes.
Because we've had Do Epic Shit and we have the first
Get
one.
epic shit done.
Get Epic Shit Done. All right, so let's start at the beginning, Ankur. So we have some perspective. Right now, you're worth millions. There's no doubt about that because I saw what you sold and for how much. We won't ever discuss that. That's a byproduct. We'll come to it. But let's start at the beginning. How did Ankur become the famous Ankur Warikoo he is today? The first book, is that the first thing or the memes? What made
The
you-
content. I think the content blew up during COVID.
Oh.
I've been a startup founder, so
Yeah.
essentially that's my claim to fame.
You also headed Groupon, no? For
Yes,
some
I
time?
did. Yes.
Can I one complaint?
Please.
I did some free events, 3 of them, Bangalore, Delhi, and Mumbai for them. Free in the sense that they had this barter system
Huh.
back in the day, 10, 12 years back.
Huh.
Sorry, excuse my Delhi. My Delhi came out for a second. But somebody said, ki, we'll make a show for you, or, some sort of payment later through barter
Which
system.
never happened.
Not only never happened, we kept calling, my manager kept calling, but at the end, the person also was not there, changed jobs. So
Are you sure this was the same
it's true,
company?
It's true. So I've done the compounding of this abhi 10-12 saal ke baad. So I think they
So
owe me
now I-
close to 16 million euros. How do we take this forward?
I shall have my manager contact you.
Huh?
Contact your manager.
अब क्या हो
Both
गया?
of whom have left the
Favorite
jobs.
VJ, DJ,
I
all that.
know, I
Favorite.
Sab-
No,
sab
all
chala
मुंह बोली
गया.
बात ना.
You
Favorite
are
VJ,
like-
favorite stand-up. Or the old man is struggling here. My 60 million euros. This is a man who makes money. So you were head of Groupon.
My apologies as well for any inconvenience that we have caused.
You were not involved. I think it was just pre you. You came back and turned the company around.
Oh, thank
It was group off. Then you came and became Groupon immediately. So let's rewind a little bit. So you were in Michigan University?
I was in Michigan State
This is
University.
typical Indian.
Like classic education, study
US,
hard,
वो
blah, blah,
सब.
blah, all that stuff. Then I dropped out, came back to India. I did
What was the plan at that point?
There was no plan. At the age of 24, I was completely clueless in life.
Wow.
And my friends were like, hey, you're confused, so why don't you do
And some
what
of them must be doing well by 24, yeah?
They were doing extremely well. Some of them were really excited. They got married, had kids by then, and they were like, "You were confused, so
Or
why
had
did you
kids
do?"
and had to get married.
Yeah,
वो भी
that
एक चीज़ है
also,
भाई. It
it is
happens.
good. Shotgun marriage. What I was told. No, sorry. कहाँ जाता है
I'm
ये
just thinking.
podcast?
No, I'm just thinking if it happened with me. No. Then
So my friends were like, "You're confused, so why don't you do what most confused people do? Go get an MBA."
that's a good setup for a good gag.
And then, so I went for an MBA, and I did that. That frankly turned
This is
out
where?
really
MBA here
well.
in India?
MBA here in India at ISB, the Indian School of Business.
Okay.
And I did that for
Probably as
months,
expensive
like-
as the US education.
It was insanely expensive. I had to
Was-
take a big loan.
That's what
My
I'm saying.
US education was all funded by a scholarship. So
Exactly.
I was like, classic.
That's what I'm saying. US was cheaper for you.
Yes.
India has become too expensive. So when you vote in May, no, I'm just. अंकुर की बात है भाई मैं कुछ नहीं बोला
like, तो सावधानी से.
Hmm.
The MBA, it turned out well. Then I got a
No, you said
consulting
you're
job.
clueless, but you've done an MBA, so you're not clueless.
No,
You want to get back into the corporate.
Hello. Every MBA is clueless,
Yeah,
which
that's
is why
true.
they do an MBA.
And,
They're equally more clueless, but it's just that they have a big loan and they're clueless.
and in Mumbai, engineers should have done MBAs instead because they're building bridges that don't fit and all that. So you can
Which is
imagine.
also like the-
Lots of mistakes are happening that way.
City is
But
done
you're
like
joking.
nothing.
Oh, it's horrible, yaar.
I have never seen the
That's
city
why
like
people
this,
say
by the way.
defend Mumbai versus Delhi. People are telling me he's a Delhi boy. You know, in the old days, Delhi, Mumbai was a big deal and all that. I'm like, but what to defend? Delhi is a city. Mumbai is whatever, yaar. I mean, aja. Walk. If you come back, well done.
It's like I've never seen the city dug up as much as it is right now.
Non-biased, no? You just look at it and say, why is it looking like this?
I genuinely like
Yeah.
something. It just feels that somebody, as a collective, woke up and is like, "Chalo, खोदते हैं. Chalo, let's see."
Yeah.
And
It's like a mischievous guy said, let's make holes.
but anyway, yeah. So I finished my MBA, and then I went for a consulting job. So that was my first big break.
They come and pick you up, no?
It's like this very elite career, lots of money, fancy travel, fancy stay, really high quality work, blah blah blah. Did that for 3 years, and then in 2009 I became a startup founder.
Okay.
That's when the story shifted.
So just give us an insight. We've had a couple of startup founders. After the interview, they disappeared completely from society. But just some idea of how you actually, because everybody wants to do startups and all that, but it's obviously much more. It's a sentence you hear. Startup kiya, maine startup banaya, whatever. But it's just give us some idea about the rigors of startup.
I actually lucked out. I landed on a very good platform. So one of my batchmates from
As
the
in
same
funding?
school, no, not from funding, from the fact that I joined what was already a running startup, and I didn't have to
Oh.
think about a lot of things that usually people have to. So mera batchmate tha from business school. He had already started up, and I joined him, and we then started building things together. And so it was a fairly easy pad for me to land on.
But
There was
isn't there some like one idea, vacancy in the market or something
You
that...
certainly have to, right? Kyunki
No, but that's the main cheese, no? Agar wo nahi hai, to what's the startup?
absolutely.
So
You have to chase an
then we
idea.
all think, why didn't we think of that? Like say a Zomato or whatever, you think
Correct,
about that. I
correct,
hate
correct,
those
correct.
guys, yeah. I would have been a food delivery king, boss. I think about food all the time.
And then what happened?
Then I think about sex. वो डिलीवर नहीं हो जाता है मैंने कितना बार मैं फोन किया will I get a Rani or not no Rani no pani nothing we apologize just being funny there's nothing Ankur does not you do not validate this kind of conversation
I was
Completely
like,
not.
I do not endorse this.
He's more a Raja guy just kidding back to your story so what is the big idea
The big, you laugh at this.
Huh.
The big idea, not mine, huh? The big idea was my friends. He said that there are so many marriages that happen in India. So they're bound to be people who get divorced and widowed. Why do we
What a great
build a
idea.
platform to get people married again? Second,
Ooh, I
shadi.com.
was thinking about for the divorced guy to meet girls but it's some of the same it's going from that stream
Yeah. Well, not while he or she is married. But
well
no, it's
that's
like, well,
that's a totally different game
but
you got the boys in the studio love you.
yeah. Second shadi.com was the idea.
Okay.
And that was the first startup. That's what
I think it's a
he
great idea.
launched.
I think it's a great idea. I don't know what the numbers are in market. Obviously, you did your research or
Well,
your
we
friend,
realized
your
that there
partner,
aren't too many people who are looking to get married again in India. It's a cultural thing. Well, now the world's different. This is like 2008, 2009.
That's
Different.
true. Having tried it once, it didn't work out. I can understand that point of view. But after some time, people get lonely again or whatever.
True. But then they also have built their network. They wouldn't go to a digital platform to find someone, unless of course they have no avenue
You
to.
think?
I
आजकल के
don't know.
नौजवान
नहीं, आजकल के नौजवान उस मकाम तक पहुंचे नहीं है ना. Like they're not yet
okay,
experienced there.
okay.
So
you're talking more
you're talking
sort
about
of our generation or
people who were
yeah.
already in their 30s in 2008, 2009. Sorry.
oldies yaar.
Like, so that was a different.
Okay.
There was
So what happened?
So in startup world, there is a term called TAM, TAM,
Just like the IRS.
total addressable market.
Oh.
How big is the market? And that for a startup needs to be in multiple billions of dollars. It can't be some chucha-sa market and something like that. So like Shark Tank today in some way glorifies the fact that you have a shop or you have a chocolate brand or you're making some bakery or something. Let's get you funded. That's not the right way to think about it because
I want to see what happens later. Yeah,
exactly.
They ended there, but let's see 2 years down the line ki hua kya.
Because when you raise money, you are raising money to give back that money. Na? It's not like khairat, it's not like charity. So how do you give back that money if you don't have a huge business to build? Right. And how big can a business be if you're just running, say, a chocolate brand or something?
And Shark Tank also, now you bring it up, English and Hindi both, I'm very worried that they don't follow it up. They just leave it there for us. Then the one success one they'll talk about 10 years later and all that, na?
Which will always...
So कोई जो TV पे दिखाता है वो ठीक है. Everybody's happy, oh, he got the contract or whatever. And then...
So there is this thing called due diligence, a DD, where basically you make a commitment, which is like an implicit commitment, but then you explicitly get into the details.
And finer details.
Wow, like what's the revenue like? Did you really fake the numbers or just make it grand on TV because you wanted to win over your mother-in-law and blah, blah. And then if the numbers don't turn out to be as...
Then you do what most men should do when they're not married. Pull out. Anji, pani pila do. All good. We have Jen.
So
Jen
is
recently married.
This is 18 plus.
Eye contact mat kar. It's a horrible point in her life. Leave it now.
So
what happened to the startup?
So the startup still runs, by the way. Yeah, but it never got.
So you're being modest. It did well.
No, the thing is, it did well because we didn't raise money externally. So my friend comes from a family business, so the family business funded that startup itself.
They covered it.
So we didn't have to like go to a VC or raise money or anything like that. In fact, my first experience.
Is your friend divorced?
No, he's happily.
Where did the idea come from? Sometimes it comes because you are divorced.
Yeah, that's a funny story. The idea came from his dad. Who was also happily married.
Wow.
But my first reaction was, oh God, like uncle and auntie are going through shit.
I know.
Yeah, but no, it turned out to be okay.
But कहाँ से आया फिर idea?
कुछ तो होगा, खुराफाती दिमाग है.
Somebody in the circle must be, no? They must have observed
something. Yeah, of course.
I think that way. It's quite genius, actually, the idea.
It's quite.
You think life ends, divorce, whatever, and all. You're thinking about a rebirth, in a sense.
It just did. Yeah. And at that point of time, it was funny, Cyrus, because 2009... Like as it is getting married again, particularly for women, it's like a social taboo and so on. So we were at 27, 28 years. We was heralded as like social crusaders trying to change the fabric of the society, blah, blah, front page, cover. And we were like,
Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Didn't he change the Child Marriage Act?
Yeah, exactly. But
you're that of this generation.
No way. But we were just having fun.
We'll put Raja in front of your name. Huh?
Yeah. No, we were just having fun. It was suddenly a lot of pressure, and we had to take ourselves a lot more seriously than we did. But it turned out to be okay. And
but you pulled out of the venture now, or are you still there? Sorry,
no, I left that. I left that in. So what happened is we came up with multiple other websites. One of that was Gaadi.com.
Nice.
And Gaadi.com very quickly became one of India's largest car classified websites.
Okay.
So buying and selling used cars.
You were one of the first players in this market?
We were one of the first players in the market. And we got an opportunity to sell Gaadi.com to a large South African company.
Wow.
Make a little bit of happy money through that.
Another genius idea. I don't know. It's slightly more male thing, I think. But I sometimes, when I'm bored, I just go through the pricing of cars just to see what if I could afford. Not that I'm going to buy.
Sure.
But agar ye khareed sakta ya nahi. I don't know how to explain it.
No, it's the same thing with me for houses, not cars.
Wow, look at the difference. My to only गाड़ी का budget है. इसका house का budget है. You know Panchil Park, what it costs? It's not a joke, boss.
But who stays in Panchil Park?
I don't know. What's the big area?
Yeah, it's like, no, that's fine.
The world has changed. My cousins used to stay in Panchil Park. We thought it was very fancy. They had a bungalow.
Still.
Little park and all, where the actual park was.
There are parks. There's something called parks. Yeah. A lot of them in there.
We have no idea.
Exactly. Schools also have playgrounds.
Schools have places where the car can stop.
Yeah, well, buses can park.
In Bombay, you kill children. Every time you come to pick up one, you kill two. It's like that. There's just no parking. It's not even funny, boss. You have no idea. They build the city without any planning. So it's just, here's the school. Abhi karo. पिकअप कर दो.
किसने बोला था बच्चे डालने के लिए?
Exactly. दो तो है ना, एक तो मिलेगा वापस. Sorry about this
So-
conversation. I'm
Like-
ashamed that we are having such an intelligent man. Look at Rishi, the youngest guy in the room, sitting behind there. He's going like,
They must be used to this now.
they don't listen normally. He's probably listening to Raku Kaise.
I was told before I came to this podcast, have you had food?
Why?
He was like, because this will be a highly
budget.
intense, high energy conversation. You'll be drained by the
Who
end of
told
it.
you this? You told them this?
Some well-wishers of yours.
Oh, acha, acha.
Ah,
Then
so,
look,
like, you have fans. You have fans.
It's probably the rickshaw drivers here. We owe them money, so they're just hoping that our business does well, so we can pay
They
them.
pay them back.
So that's startup one. Then you did more websites, Gaadi.com. Then
Yeah. Then a big break came in 2011, which was there was this US company called Groupon, which
but
is
why
what
would
were
you
talking
go
about.
there? Because a bunch of the startup ka kida hai. I'm presuming that now you're an entrepreneur, so
Yeah.
then you become more like a management guy.
So that was the fun part, because they asked me to set up the India business from scratch and said, we'll give you a lot of autonomy. We just need these guardrails.
So
to
no
become
audit.
again.
First guy gets no audit. Second guy को audit मिलता है.
Milta
पैसा कहाँ
hai.
है? What is the name of our company?
So that what happened, and it was a joyride. Like for 4 years, I genuinely got to learn a lot.
The
I made a
Western
lot of
Hotel was
mistakes.
still there.
Say that again?
Western Hotel Mumbai. They had the an office group on.
No, that wasn't Western. Western में नहीं था.
Hotel के पीछे, it's like the part of the
it
hotel.
was-
Yeah.
Not the part. No,
We
no,
would enter
no.
to the hotel and go to the back thing and all. I know because I've written. That was one of my favorite.
That's where you came to collect your money.
No, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a mobile phone the first time I went there. I didn't
Oh.
own one. So they asked me for contact number. I had to handwrite. So I wrote my normal thing, Mr. Madhur Short. Because, the guy is not, you can write what you want. No? I've been writing that all my life. Mr. Ben Shoot. These kind of names are all over the corporate books in Raymond Point. You don't write that? Huh?
I write
Teri
Shahrukh
maa
Khan.
ki jai. It's all over. Yeah. I've left my imprint. Yeah.
No, I was
So they have to contact these guys.
2011, 4 p.m. on the 23rd of April.
Yeah. But why do they do that? You're a corporate guy to some extent.
I have no idea.
What are they
I've
doing with that
never
information?
I don't know where all these books are. I just genuinely don't know what's happening with them.
It's not even like he's reading what I'm writing. But fill it in. Baro, yahan pe, baro.
कहाँ से आए हो? And I would just write like Delhi. Like,
Yeah.
no, go and
Yeah.
find me in Delhi.
Yeah. Spell it wrong and they'll be confused. Right? DOELI or something. They'll have no idea. ठीक है, must be something.
Delhi
Oh,
हो
बस हो
गया.
गया, हाँ.
Like,
This and the bloody security checks. Another joke.
that is.
What are those security checks? The friendly Labrador comes in, you enter the 5-star hotel, you pat him.
Laptop serial number. I am going to the US consulate this evening for an event.
Laptop serial number?
They will make you write the laptop serial
Why?
numbers
But
because
that
they,
dangerous.
no, they want to make sure that the laptop that you carry in is the same laptop you carry out.
Oh, that way. Because you have to keep all the stuff in one area.
Yeah, it's
The
like no.
phones and all.
Imagine walking in with the Windows and walking out with a Mac.
Oh, smart.
That's like
So don't open an embassy in India because that happens all the time. Can you imagine? Yeah.
so yeah. It's,
You're visiting your mother country now again. Going back to Michigan.
like
Huh?
paying my tributes.
Yeah.
No, it's an event. It just happens to be at the consulate. I don't know why.
You're doing an event
I'm doing an event.
at the US consulate.
Yes.
Wow, this guy's big. US consulate के अंदर event है. मतलब he's performing or
No, not
motivational.
Like, something is
motivational
happening.
thing.
I'm just there as a keynote or something.
Don't be modest. You're teaching the Americans how to do business. That's huge.
Like,
Only the Chinese were doing that. Kidding.
kidding.
So where were we in the right? So then Groupon. So you actually re-engineered the
Yeah, I set up
process
the
here.
entire India business and then managed Groupon APAC as well as part of that. Did it for 4 years and then kind of got tired of it. And then we pulled off a master move, which I genuinely am the proudest of. We went to Groupon Global and we said, boss, you are busy with US and Europe. These are meaningfully large countries for you. India के लिए तुम ज़्यादा ध्यान वान दे नहीं रहे हो. I want to buy the India business from you.
Oh,
And they're like, WTF, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This doesn't happen.
Oh.
And we're like, no, it can happen. And here's the reason why it should happen. So we took our time and we convinced them. And we actually, in August of 2015, bought the Groupon India business from Groupon and made that into an independent company that became Nearby.com.
but why would they sell it? Oh, so that's nearby.com.
That is Nearby.com. That is nearby.
But why would they sell it? Because what is the point of putting a foot in here and then selling it?
They sold it because they knew that the largest markets were US and Europe, and this was meaningfully small, and they didn't have the wherewithal to even handhold it or make it through.
They didn't have a long-term vision about...
So they did had equity in it. Like they had 30% in it. So they retained a share, which was minority. So they didn't have to control it, manage it, financially support it. So it's like पैदा कर दिया, and now the kid is on their own. But if the kid becomes successful, then there'll be some attachment to the last name of the family.
They learned from us how to be like us.
Too.
Work less, earn more, and don't do anything. Fantastic. You've been a master. You schooled the schools. Unbelievable.
Totally.
So that became nearby.com.
So that became nearby.com, which happened in 2015. Then I ran that till 2019. And in 2019, I stepped down as the CEO. I felt that I'd done my share. And
so it doesn't say here, did you sell your stake?
I still have my stake.
Yeah, this guy is rolling in it. Yeah, that's unbelievable. He's too rich for the show. Koi cousin hai? Can you call somebody? We did the right fit. Yeah, I'm feeling very uncomfortable. So nearby.com. Then, so what is this? So you get bored of the thing after some time, or you feel you've reached the zenith?
Yeah, I think I have this 4 or 5 year cycle where I just have to reimagine myself as somebody else or doing something else. And thankfully, life's worked out. And
a couple of people we've spoken to have this similar thing. It's almost like, I won't say bored is the wrong word. It's almost like I think that work is done. Is that the feeling?
Work is done.
Abhi naya chahiye kuch.
Right? It's not so much naya. It's like, what else is there?
What else is there?
What else is there? Like, it's almost like an explorer.
It's almost like money is not the challenge. The challenge is you need to put something and make it work.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to make something else work. So
and at least I'm a firm believer that if you do that, then money will follow eventually.
Yeah, clearly it does. But I'm just trying to think, because most of us think the wrong way. We're thinking how to earn money, how to earn more money. Well, you're trying to think about how to get this thing to, rock.
Yes.
And then once it's rocked, it's like, my work is done. This kid is now shadi hui. Oh yeah, let me move on. And you go to the next.
Exactly.
This is the lesson we should be learning from him. Because I think our perspective is completely wrong when we think about how to go about doing things. We only think about the money part. And at least here we have to. But let's not get personal. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So then you get not bored. So you moved on. Another success. You've kept some equity, but you move on to the next thing. What is the next thing?
So I didn't know what the next thing is, as I have never. And I said, let's take a 3-month break.
So you never say, I've got this idea now, I'm leaving this because I've got this new idea. You're actually in a vacuum.
Yes.
Wow.
And that vacuum will then lead you to some place. So that was the same vacuum I was in. I was like, 3-month break lete hain, let's figure out. And in those 3 months, March 2020 happened. And the world completely collapsed.
Pandemic,
Like pura lockdown and everything had to
You were in Delhi, right?
So it's like I was in Delhi. And I'd been creating content for nearly 7 years up till that point. But for a very different reason. I was creating content to create a brand for the company. So nearby, that this is who we are, that's our culture like, this is how cool it is to work with us, blah, 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 blah. So there was a little bit of following on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, but nearly not to the extent that could be anything meaningful. And I said, let's see what happens because of that. So I put in a small team together, started building content consciously, started with YouTube, started with Instagram, with LinkedIn, with Twitter, and so on.
These were personal content. This is the memes and all that happened.
No, this was like my life experiences, how I fucked up, all the things that I have done, which were like.
Okay.
So this was more about my reflections at the age of 40 of how I could have done better, or I wish I knew this, or I wish I knew that. So all reflections, just pure reflections and authentic.
So once again, you're just passing time here. You didn't have a plan that this will blow up and do well and all that.
Did not have any clue at all. And serendipitously, luck would have it, right place, right time. People had time to consume that content. I had time to...
But do you think it works because you're successful and they all want to be you? I'm trying to think, I'm not putting you down in any way. I'm just trying to think. You think that's part of the reason that you seem to be like a dynamic young guy who's done a lot of things in such a short span of time? So especially with the male audience, it's like, boss, mere ko ye karna hai.
I'd like to believe it's more about, here is this dude who at the age of 40 had a very enviable life from a distance, but actually it was a lot of these twists and turns, a lot of setbacks, a lot of failure, a lot of challenges that he's now openly sharing. And we're so glad that we can now resonate. He doesn't look like a Superman who's done nothing wrong in life, but like a normal dude who...
But you look too happy. That's my worry, na.
But I am.
Apna jo grandfathers hai, na, or not there anymore, but they had the khadus, what we use in this Marathi word khadus, which is this, that's what we thought was successful, alpha male, doing well and all. You're you're almost like, this young guy who's got no pressure.
That's
a compliment. Yeah.
But that's where I am.
You don't wear any pressure. You don't seem like you've gone through the rigors of life and...
Because you just realize that you You move on and
or is it narcotics?
it isn't. Actually, it
You
isn't.
can be open here.
No, I've never. So I don't even know.
So I'm just trying to think. Now, again, this is not to put anyone down. To
Please.
what works, we don't know what works, right? So we're trying to figure out why your memes became you're talking to camera, whatever you want to call it, how it became that popular that quickly. It's got to be obviously who you are.
It's who I am. Is the fact that I am 44 and haven't seen life that a lot of people are experiencing. I was speaking their language. I was speaking to the 20-year-old in a manner that didn't feel like I was talking down on them.
No.
But more like, bro, pata hai mujhe kya chal raha hai tere life mein. And that in some way was like, oh, here's this perhaps cool uncle that we can relate to. And maybe that was the reason.
Yeah, I wish we could give like a Hindi film. If we knew exactly what worked, everybody would be a super.
Like a replicable formula.
Animal fabulous. Okay, it had its moments. Let's not go there. But I was just thinking, nearby to TK. Nearby is a good phrase that we use in India. Nearby, yeah, nearby. But what about in Delhi? This word that I love when I used to go there and see my cousins is backside. Building का backside. Backside की entry है. Backside से entry ले लो.
Backside.
I mean, you take your pick.
Backside.
Beautiful sounding words. How about backside.com?
This.
Come on, yaar. You like it? They love it. All of them love it in the room. We've got something here.
We can make a big business out of this.
Ankur, come on.
What do you think would be sold there?
I'm a little confused. Whatever the market wants. Beta, judgment nahi hai isme.
Like, exactly.
Why should we judge?
Backside.com में सब कुछ बिक जाएगा.
Like, back to my backside. All right. I think we'll take a quick break and for 1 minute come back and talk more seriously about his life and lots more because the book started after the memes and there are other companies in the background as well, I'm sure. You're too young. At 44, I mean, God knows, there's no retiring age for this kind of personality, right? I mean, you'll just land up making... Also, again, not to take it away from you, but some people are just lucky. They're good at it. At these things.
I firmly believe this. I have lucked out in life like nobody's business. I have no business being here. I'm just like this dude that drove lots. I often say this, and this is on a serious note. I'm a male, privilege. I was born in a Hindu Brahmin family, privilege. I was born fair, privilege. I was born to educated parents, privilege. I was sent to an English medium school, privilege. I grew up in a big city, privilege. Like these 6 things.
US, MBA.
Like these, no, but those are still, I can still perhaps say that they were my
choices. 6 है, मेरे को 7 भी है इसमें. I have hair.
I have hair? I was born with hair.
Oh, sorry, those watching, especially the women, sorry.
There are so many random things in life that happen to you that you have no role playing. You
know what you've done? All the guys watching who are, young, fair, Hindu, Brahmin, whatever the other things you've mentioned, and are not successful, they're going to be hitting each other with a pan. Because they're like, usne kaha, I was born privileged. I got nothing. Yeah. Right, we'll take a quick break, then we'll come back. And his net worth is to be revealed.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On The Habit Coach, join Ashton Doctor to uncover the hidden truths behind our perception of normal and the impact it has on our well-being. On The Musafir Stories, author, writer and illustrator Seema Misra takes us to the land of the rising sun, Arunachal Pradesh, and lists some must-visit monuments like the Golden Pagoda at Namsai and a lot more. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Omidyar Network India, IDFC First Bank, and ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
Back here with Ankur, and we have to discuss a lot of things. We have only half an hour to talk. Let's quickly get to 3 books. And I think there are a few more businesses. So this blows up with staying in the linear trajectory. It blows up. You're doing really well. There's a new avatar of you.
Yeah.
Which, again, discussing in the morning with the people around me. And everybody knows who you are. Everybody's been following you, especially younger people. And I was quite amazed that you've got this hold on a lot of people. And so this one young girl, 27-year-old girl, tells me, you don't know who Ankur is? Ankur, he blew up the internet. When you hear those lines and all, and a woman, a young woman. And she's pretty, by the way. But she's married, yaar. Backside.com. Tryagain.com. So you're here, you're doing the things, and then when does the book come?
The book comes serendipitously. I'm having this conversation with this lady called Chiki Sarkar, and she is
from the famous Sarkar family.
yes, right.
Yeah.
So Juggernaut founder,
Hmm.
and she I had met her in 2016 or something, and at an event we were on a panel together. And after the panel, true to herself, she was like, "I see a lot of books on you," and I didn't know what that meant because I had no plan of writing a book. I didn't even know that I had a book in me. Forget many books.
Hmm.
But then as the content blew up, and there were a lot of people who were asking me, "Are you writing a book? Are you writing a book? Are you writing a book?" And I was like, "Is that like the logical next step?"
Hmm.
So then I went to Chiki and I was like, "You know what? I think I should write a book. And because you were the first one to propose this, I want to give this opportunity and see if you are still ready to take it." And she's like, "Yeah, let's do this." So that's how Do Epic Shit came together.
Hmm.
And it came out in 2011.
Okay.
Sorry, 2021.
Do Epic Shit very quickly. Synopsis.
It is a summary of random things that I have learnt in life. No head, no tail, no middle. It's the most disconcerting book to a reader who reads often because it has no start, no finish. Every page is an independent thing. Think of it like a.
Sounds like my wife's conversation. No, seriously. So you just let go.
You just let go.
Yeah.
Just let go.
Is
And
advice? Or more
no,
like
I wouldn't even say
about
advice.
yourself, kind of.
No, it's not. It's not autobiographical or biographical at all, or nothing like that. It's just hard-hitting, reflective thoughts about what I figured about life.
Can you give one example, Sarji?
Sure. For example,
Hmm.
a quote of mine which I love: "If you don't ask, the answer is always no." Imagine that as the only thing on a page, as the first line, and the entire page is blank.
Hmm.
And kids loved it.
I think it's a great line, except for in Mumbai, you have to find out who to ask. It's very difficult to get anything done otherwise because you're asking the wrong person. It
will always
doesn't
be
matter
wrong.
what they say. Like the other day, I asked my wife, like, would she like to go out? And she said, no. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm cutting into the thing.
No.
So how do you get these thoughts?
I think a lot.
You do. So you're
Yeah.
a bit of a philosopher. So you're writing these thoughts down like in a diary or
No, it's just document because I'm a content creator. So
Yeah.
most of this is just
you
out
pulled it
there.
out of the
Yeah, pulled it out from LinkedIn and from Twitter and every place else where I'd already shared all of this. So the book had been written already.
Fair
I just had to
enough.
compile
Fair
it.
enough. Yeah.
And that's what.
But it's
that's
your
what happened.
thoughts. It's just your thoughts going onto paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So that's the first book. Then obviously they said they did well. So people said let's have a
it's
second
like,
one.
Second one.
You feel pressure now suddenly?
No,
Because
no
one book
pressure
is
at
like,
all.
yeah.
No pressure at all. I was like, no, I'm enjoying this, and I really loved it. So I said, let's do the other one. So Get Epic Shit Done was in Delhi University where I studied. There is this thing called Kunji. I don't know what the Bombay equivalent is, if at all there is.
Kunji? Anji? Confuse somebody outside. Yeah.
It's a compilation of the last 10-year question papers.
Oh yeah, we do all that crap. Yeah, they all do all that
We
crap.
have
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Every city would have.
It's a bit
that,
like
piece of
studying
crap.
stocks also,
Yeah.
who's doing well in the last few years. Huh?
And the answers to those 10-year question papers, right? So it's like this brilliant
It's called
guide.
smart studying.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like 3 days before the exam, this is the only book you'll
Correct.
read.
Yeah.
So that was the inspiration for the second book, which is what if there was a Kunji for life? These frequently asked questions that almost everyone has at any point of time in life. How do you make friends? How do you deal with a toxic manager? How do you convince your parents about the career choice you want to make?
How do you scratch your penis in public?
Very important question to answer, but
Without
not in a
using
book.
your hands. You have to have a really small friend. sorry. I'm sorry. Back. Yeah.
Or a pen.
Oh, well done, Delhi.
Yeah.
Backward.com. अब पेश करते हैं a brand new design.
पहले मैं नहीं.
Yeah.
So it was 36 questions that are frequently asked. I was asked those questions time and again from my audience, and my attempt to answer them. So it became like a life kunji. You don't have to read the book. Of those 36, any question that's hitting you at that point of time, just read that, leave
So
it.
there's definitely questions I can see from your core group of followers, which are like, as you say, young men in their 20s, maybe in late 20s also. But then as they get older, say my age group or your age group, do they also ask questions?
They ask questions, but the questions are very
So
different.
what
of
would the
course.
question be then?
Their questions will be, how do I deal with my teenage child? Or how do I teach them some things that know the value of hard work or patience?
Right.
Or how do I build
So
for my
when you're writing a
plan?
book, are you talking to one type of person?
I'm
Or?
always only talking to the 20-year-old Indian.
Oh, okay.
Always.
So you're not trying to get into the older
No,
people.
the
So
book
as
is not for
usual,
you.
we are treated like some outside unnecessary objects that have to be just kept there till we die.
Outside.com.
Outside via the backside.
Backside.
Okay. So that's that. Let's go to book 2.
Yeah. So book 3, that was book 2.
That was book 2. So let's go book 3, which is this one.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the main point. Is ultimately everybody comes back to this. How do we make money?
And this is one piece of category that I've been creating content on YouTube for nearly 3.5 years now.
Mhm.
And a lot of people
And fair enough, because ultimately that's what you did.
Yeah.
You're a young boy, you went all over the world, whatever, and then came back and just made money and touched the good luck charm, or whatever you want to call it, and everything went well one after another.
Thankfully, yes. And so I wanted to teach whatever I had learned and all the things that I wish I was told when I was in my 20s. And I've been doing that in my videos. But then the book becomes like a curated artifact that stays at least permanent for a while. So I compiled it into a book, and that was what Make Epic Money.
We'll go into it for a second, but first I want to ask you, MBA से क्या मिला? MBA का जो जानकारी है, is that practical or not?
You know, the MBA taught
Honestly,
me
tell me.
all the things that I didn't learn in class.
मतलब?
So MBA gave me a brilliant network
Oh, that way.
of people that have gone on to do multiple things
correct.
in life, right? So I literally have to pick up the collar, like,
And many of them would be top of their chain kind of thing.
totally, because no, it was a good school and all that
Yeah.
so on. Second, it taught me a lot about what are the things that I'm good at and not good at. Because that 1 year experience of an MBA was like this crunched course of what life would be ultimately. 24 ही घंटे हैं. You have to make a choice कि ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना. You're constantly living in FOMO. You have no idea of day and night. You have to manage your time, your energy, your relationships, blah, blah.
Boy-girl ratio?
Very healthy, 35% women.
35? मतलब almost a chance. Very good, yaar. Very good. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great experience. But I say, kuch academically it didn't.
But no regrets.
Not at all.
As you said,
none at all.
Whatever you want to call it, informal education that you get out of it is worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I just worry is some people think that if they just do the MBA, their world changes completely. It's not exactly like that.
No, it's not that. Like, I often say this: if your last degree should be from the best school possible. Otherwise, don't do the last degree.
Okay. Best school as in this is a metaphor?
Yeah, whatever is the best you can get in.
Okay.
It really has to be the top tier that you stretch yourself out of.
For podcasting, come to IVM. We will teach you everything.
Everything.
And there's no looking back from here. Some of the greatest people have worked. Kapil Sharma, 3 years here. And now today, look how well he's doing here. That guy. No, not the comedian. This is a waiter at Otters Club. But he's very good, very good. He's very happy with himself. And why do you need everything in life?
Contentment.
You
Exactly,
don't overdo it.
yeah.
Let's talk about Make Epic Money. Any tips you could, I mean, a mean thing to ask. Should read the whole book. Please read the book. But since we have you here, in short, is there anything we can get?
When you say we, you mean you?
Yeah. Well, just generally.
Besides the
give me some
16 million?
advice.
Are you investing? Who manages your money?
My wife, moment I enter, takes the check and says, stay in a corner.
Okay.
Then she calls somebody.
You're covered. You don't need any
Yeah.
advice. You don't need any. You're in the best hands possible.
So I've come from a family which is very conservative. With my dad, when he was alive, everything was insurance. So I own LIC. Full. Okay, and we've gone from there more towards equities because we are less conservative.
Yeah.
So that's where we stand. But nobody can give us a proper ratio. Everybody has their own thing, 70, 30, 60, 40, 50, 50, jo bhi hai.
Which is fine.
So you tell me.
Well, so there is this interesting rule called the 100 minus X rule, which is whatever is your age, assume that to be X.
Yeah.
That percentage of your money should be invested in what's called safe assets. So your LIC could be there, or your
Okay.
etc. Right? So if you're 50, then 50% in safe, and then 50% in the equity market.
But that's if you live to be 100, no?
No, you don't have to, because the ratio keeps declining. So if you're, say, 60, you ought to have more of your money in safe and less in equity.
Oh.
If you're young, then you ought to have more in equity and less in safe.
I like this thinking. It makes more sense also because there's less responsibility at that point. So you can afford to lose a little here and there.
And you have time, right? So even if you go through some shit, you have time to recover from it.
You're a wise owl. A wise owl, Ankur.
Say Cyrus, and it is stamped now.
We'll put more treble in the voice. Change it completely. Make sure it sounds different. All right. We've got questions and all. I don't. We have time. Let's quickly get into fitness. Apparently, fitness and traveling. I went through your very, very large body of research that we had. And so, fitness freak and loves to travel.
Yes.
Loves to travel now because of the internet generation. I guess you can just keep working from wherever. Otherwise, I think it's distracting for someone like you who's a real go-getter, who's got the next idea.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, our principle is very simple. We have 2 kids. As soon as the school calendar is released,
the principal and you. नहीं, our principal. अच्छा, मैं सोच रहा हूँ, our principal का मतलब क्या? अंग्रेजी की funny language है ना? Our principal. He goes and mates with the principal of the school. He's just bloody walking his dog. Next thing, they have 2 kids. What is going on? Is this Columbus?
I was like, no, it is not.
Thank
It
God.
is not. It is not. I went to an all-boys school, by the way.
Where?
Like Don Bosco.
Oh, there are Don Boscos everywhere. Matunga or Delhi?
No, Delhi. Hey, Delhi. Yeah, so it was a.
I remember shooting kids in modern in my first year at MTV. They were the first kids to get like 96, 97 around that time to get mobile phones and all. And it was unbelievable culture. It was like, I felt like one of their drivers coming there, with my crew and all that.
It is always considered to be like a rich kid's school.
Yeah, there's no poor people in that school.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
They want, but they just want students.
Yeah. Modern, we love you.
We do.
No, just kidding. Don Bosco, right?
Yeah.
Where were we? So travel.
I
So,
was like, yeah,
you,
so-
the wife, and 2 kids.
So as soon as the school calendar is released, we plan our holidays.
Huh.
And then we are like,
So which have been the best
like-
places that you've gone to? And it doesn't not necessarily the
recency
most
bias would
expensive.
be Australia. We absolutely loved our time. We were there in the winters, which is summers there.
Yeah.
And we thoroughly enjoyed the country.
This whole outdoor thingy, no?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
seas
It's like the
and
best of the West.
Yeah.
Plus the family orientation and all the social fabric that they have. And everyone's running and everyone's fit and everyone feels like they are also clued in and not like
Yeah. And a very outdoors culture, no?
very, very.
Which sadly in India we don't have. Or at least urban Indians don't have.
You need space for that.
Well, for you guys, you go to Faridabad and fly a kite or something. We can't look out the window now. It's that bad, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Organized, a little more organized sector, no?
Extreme.
For all this. Because they have all these things they do like rappelling and pappling and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
the kids. We had folks who before they send their kids to school to the school bus go for a swim in the beach.
Wow.
I'm like, that must be really intense. Like, you really must love this to wake up at 6 and go for a swim first, then come back, dress up, and then go to the school bus. It's like,
And they're fighting for a 4-day week, no?
yeah.
In the parliament, it's pending. I love the idea. That means 3 Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Off.
Monday to Thursday work.
Work.
I think the argument is 1 more hour per day, 9 to 6
Yeah,
and 9 to
exactly,
5 and all.
exactly.
Which being Aussies will be more like 5:15. Yeah. Why can't we do that? Although we don't have conventional jobs, so
We
it's a
don't
different
have,
story
it's like,
altogether.
we're still shaping up as a country. So I think there's time to go. But that's a place that we really loved. We absolutely loved that.
How old are the kids?
12 and 6.
So can the 6-year-old do everything?
Yeah, she's quite active and physically very determined. So she goes for treks with us and she goes for all long walks and whatever she can do, she does.
She's Australian.
She's actually Australian in that sense. She is.
So which is the worst holiday?
But that's been a
What
fascinating
about India? What is the
experience,
best?
we
Indian
really like Goa and really like Rajasthan.
But Goa has too many of the Indian tourists that you don't want
No,
to
so
meet.
we've seen Goa from so like we love going to Goa during the monsoons when everything is shining. It's a beautiful place, and no, it's just everything is waterfalls.
The greenery becomes more lush.
It's
no?
just so striking, and it's beautiful that way. And Rajasthan, we love it for our history. For
But Rajasthan, you can only go in that November, December.
oh
Jan,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. No,
three,
otherwise,
4
you'll bake.
months.
You'll bake. Yeah.
So Rajasthan is beautiful at that point. I totally accept that. But Goa, I've seen some things that I've never seen anywhere. I think Nat Geo, if you're listening or anybody who works there, please shoot this. We have Indian men who go in with their long pants and belts and full sleeve shirts. You're like executives in a really low company with small marketing sort of department, and they just go in and they have a great time. But I don't know why they can't dress appropriately for the beach.
Because then the other extreme becomes a VIP Frenchie.
But that's okay, fair enough. That's how we keep the tourists away. You take 3 Indian men, chalo chaddi mein, abhi ja. Then you have all these tough Israelis and Russians running away from the beach. Hey, Indian! It's like Jaws. Indians! I'm doing a slow motion just to get the whole effect. Yeah.
Totally felt that.
That's traveling. So twice a year, is it?
Multiple
holidays?
times a year. Yeah.
More than-
So
Well, there's
summer and winter.
winter
That's
or Diwali,
fixed, and then
whichever
there
it
is
is.
spring and autumn break, and then any long weekend and anything like that.
And the
We
small
travel
breaks,
a
where
lot.
would you go? Like the 4-5 days? It's summer
We
here.
would like we just went to Thailand for a 5-day.
That's true. It's only
thing,
a
like-
4-hour flight.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So we just
I
went
love
there.
Thailand. Because I like to be spoiled. I don't want to look at things. I think you look at everything on YouTube. Look at things is too overrated. Say there, they treat you like gods. You get one of those villas, you have a little pool inside. That's the life, bro. And you plan the whole day only planning where to eat lunch, where to eat dinner. What a life.
And a foot
Garibon ka
massage every
desh.
hour.
Puh, my foot. Sorry?
And a foot massage every hour.
But that I'm very tickly. I don't like my wife touch me. I don't know how we had kids. It's just difficult, man. I get tickled easily.
You don't. Oh my God, you're missing out on
Bro,
so
wait.
much.
Which book can help me?
Oh my God,
No.
I feel for people.
I have
who
pals who
enjoy
love this
massage.
Sunday morning massage thing, but I can't handle it. man. I
Oh,
can't handle it. I just get damn ticklish. What can I tell you?
I know.
What to do?
No,
F it. I tickle myself. If you know what I mean.
That's it.
22 years of marriage. Huh? There you go. I don't need Australia. I just need a room. Let's talk about gym. So you're a gym freak. You never miss your workouts. You
Yeah,
keep yourself
I-
lean and fit.
So tennis every
Is that
day.
important
and
in
that's
your
like-
business, you think? That because
No,
to look good?
not at all.
No,
Not at all.
because now you're a telegenic sort of personality and all that. So do you ever
I
have that hair?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hmm.
I'd like to
It's
believe
personal.
At least yeah, it's personal. My type of content or my genre of content doesn't need.
So you're
me
not
to
looking
be,
for other girls and all that. Because normally those are the reasons.
No, as a second Shadi founder, it's
Yeah.
misleading,
Yeah, bro.
but
Business
like,
comes
no,
first. Business comes
yeah,
first.
I have to.
Yeah.
If nobody's a customer, then somebody's got to be. Right?
Exactly. It's like I remember going to a supplement store and this really fat guy trying to sell us fat burners. And a pal of mine said, "But why didn't you take them?" And he had no answer. It just it doesn't. The look is not right. Yeah. Bald guy and the hairdressers. Telling you that this baal ye katwana hai. I mean, you've got to have the right look. So in that sense, I'm just thinking. Yeah, makes sense.
So I play tennis every day and work out.
Bro, you have a lot of time.
I
Tennis
have
is
a lot
long
of
sport.
time actually. I have a lot of time.
Huh.
I'm not a busy person.
Yeah, good.
Not a busy person.
Good tennis player.
Fairly decent.
He's not. Why he's overachieved, he doesn't say anything immodest. Fucking, I'm sure he's a bekar tennis player. Vijay Amrez ka baap kahan se nikla gando? Fuck around with us about tennis. Everything else we would have bowed our heads and showed respect. You've done really well in life, but you're not saying anything. Bloody tennis champion. I am telling you, you won't take 1 point off Sania Mirza's child who's 6. Yes or no?
Quite possible. That is quite possible. That is quite possible.
But these are important. I know these life hacks you've put out there. I'm sure you have. So for you to have all these dimensions of your personality, do you think it helps people in a therapeutic way? So a lot of people don't have anything but work.
I'm not that person, so I can't imagine that
Yeah.
life. I really feel that one should have multiple identities. Like if I were to ask somebody, hey, what do you do? And if they give me a position in a company, that's such a sad answer.
Yeah.
Because that's
We're all
there is
defined
to
by
you.
that only.
But that's-
Especially corporate people, they're only defined by that. I head marketing and yeah.
X, yeah, exactly, right? That's like sad.
Yeah.
You want to be like, how much time do you have? Because
Yeah.
I could tell you like, I'm this tennis player, and I'm this author, I'm this singer, and I'm this blah blah blah, and I also do this, I also do this.
No, if somebody meets you at the airport who doesn't recognize you and you decide to talk about traveling. You could have a whole 1 hour conversation. They don't know
Totally.
anything. Only that avatar of traveling talks to
Yes.
that avatar of traveling and
Yes.
that's it.
That's it.
And you have a great time.
Yes.
You don't have to present your 7 different
Absolutely.
variations.
And I love that. I love that about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It is.
Do you take steroids?
No.
You should. Delhi is cheaper. No, I wish. One day.
What's your workout regime like?
I just lift weights, Baba, and I fight with everyone because I have
That's a good workout.
I have complexes. I've realized what my complexes are, and I hope I don't have a terminal disease because I'm going to kill people. Anyone who doesn't like animals and overreacts to dogs and cats, I want to shoot them. I get physical urge in my head. Now with women, बिल्ली को पकड़ वो सुसु करती है बेंचो. I'm like, it's a public park, it's a wild cat, and she's peeing, and you have a problem with it, you rich bitch. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if I shot her twice, do I then have to choke her neck? Or do I just choke her neck and then shoot her 3 times in the back? And then watch her crawl slow and die near the susu, where I then rub it in her face for 2 minutes. No, but then these are not good thoughts. So then I stop, I pull out, to use that phrase again.
Exactly.
Come back to life, yeah. That and people in the gym irritate me, yaar.
No,
Because
what about
I go to like a club gym, Bombay Gymkhana. Na?
Like gym bros.
Not gym bros. I don't mind gym bros. Anyone who wants to work out, whatever the hell it is, I love you. But I can't stare. Man, there's people who come and put a mat down. Then they lie down. Then they look at the TV for 2 minutes. Then they spread their legs like they're giving birth. And nothing, there's no exercise. The other thing we have is we have a book. So a lot of the older people come to just write their name. They come and they look for hours at the telly and then they look at the book and then they write their name. Then they do this, and then they go back. Those people irritate me. I don't know. Just the energy is irritating. And it's wrong, I know.
I hear you.
But yeah, a terminal illness, gun in hand, possibly would be doing damage to a lot of people. Yeah. Possibly wouldn't shoot a bank robber, I mean, he's doing his thing, he's read your book. And he's
Exactly.
like, page 54 पे लिखा कि do
Clearly,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like side income डालने वाला है. Passive income बनाना पड़ेगा.
Hey, people take interpretations of their own through. I mean, you can't be held
Absolutely.
responsible sometimes for whatever
Totally.
they read. Sir, before we do the AMAs, what's next on the entrepreneurial front? Or is there-
I have my education startup running. It's called Veda.
Yeah.
So it's an online school, and I
Veda.
teach like.
Flavor of the times. Pretty good. Smart thinking. Yeah.
And
So here's the catch. There's never a point. You said you take 3-month breaks and all, but you cannot. You're a serial entrepreneur.
yeah,
You can't.
I can't. My mind's always
So
working.
that thing runs. That chart is running
True.
while you're going to Australia, while you're playing tennis, while you're effing around with jokers on a podcast. That there's always something.
It's always something.
I think it's fair to say that there'll always be something.
They'll always.
So quickly, what is this? Are you allowed to talk about it? You want to not talk
No,
about it?
absolutely. It's an online school, and
Like Byju's, they did well.
no.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. It is. It's actually like that. But we don't teach a curriculum. So there's no set design. We're basically teaching courses that I believe school and college should have taught, but never did. And all of them are right now instructed by
for example?
time management. How do you manage your...
Oh, I love you.
Yes.
Time management. Teach the Mumbaikars. I don't know what Delhi's like, but Mumbaikars learn about time management.
What are you saying? Mumbai is...
Worst.
No.
Socially also worse. Forget fucking work.
When was the last time you were in Delhi?
The Delhi events are terrible. They take long. But work, as far as I remember, people come on time.
This is the most professional city in the country, where people would actually come on the time that they said and claimed that they would.
This is what the Mangal Pandey period you're talking about.
No, bro, what I like...
When is this? What
which
zamana?
is like, I
missed
don't
this.
know.
Sir, मैं नहीं था. मैं coma में था. I was recovering for 22 years. You have no idea. The doctor came late.
Maybe I'm just like desensitized because of Delhi. Delhi was like, कल बोला है, तो कल को मतलब कल वो...
For me, Delhi is all about fake promises. That I love.
Totally.
You ask them, ये गाड़ी चाहिए. आ गया.
लड़का निकल गया.
हाँ, निकल गया. बस 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Well, that's beautiful. That's normally 55 minutes, right? Come se come.
Totally. Trust deficiency max.
But the confidence level is fantastic. And that's what I like, because I feel I'm at home. Just lagao and just tell the guy, just promise him, like if a guy's dying of cancer, 20 minutes, you'll be fine.
There'll be shock expressed at your question itself.
Yeah.
Huh? आया भी नहीं.
That's true.
That's
true.
आधे घंटे से निकल गया.
Yeah.
आप check करो.
Yeah. Now police को phone करो. Because this is national disaster. Oof. Okay. So that's where we are right now. We'll come back to the book before we end, but here are a few questions. Shakuni Mama, please don't ask me who these people are. This is not our business. Cyrus का resume बनवा दो, अंकुर भैया. Cyrus का resume बनवा दो, if you had to.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they think that you're a guide. You are a guide. You're like a friend, philosopher, guide.
Not a
position.
resume writer for somebody who's already accomplished.
Oh.
Brownie point 2.
Yeah, brownie point, no. That was Sparsh. Oh, this is our ex-producers and this Sala useless. Okay, Nathan. What's this trending about the class 12 mark sheet?
Yeah, I just posted my class 12 mark sheet, and I posted the fact that I got 57 in English.
Good or bad?
This is really bad.
Achha.
Because I was like, I was one of those geeky, nerdy kids.
Delhi में good है यार, 57.
क्योंकि गालियाँ हम इंग्लिश में देते हैं.
हाँ.
BC.
आप तो हिंदी में देते हैं ना यहाँ पे. वो cultural exchange.
So it was like I felt like devastated and blah 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 blah.
But you had done well before.
I had done really well all through.
Then why suddenly in the board you did that?
I have no idea. Thanks. So again,
the guy who corrected couldn't speak English.
That.
ये क्या है? What is it?
इधर क्या लिखा हुआ?
तो do you remember any of the literature of that 10th standard? What Shakespeare play? There must have been one or something.
We did Hamlet.
Wow.
I think we did Hamlet.
Hamlet, Rishi? नहीं समझेगा. Let it be. Then.
And so I just posted. I don't know why it blew up. It's there like covered by media houses and stuff like that. It's on Instagram, and I just posted my 12th class.
What are the rest of the marks?
They were decent. They were pretty good.
So 57 was only
57 was the odd
blot. Baki ka was good. Up to normal standard.
Ugly duckling. And then I just tweeted about the fact that your marks don't define you, because I did okay.
Very good point. I think we should do that all the time. People, the kids, especially the kids that we represent, the urban kids.
Absolutely.
It's just unnecessarily pressured. I don't know how to... I hear such horror stories, unnecessary. And it's got nothing to do with what they become. Look at you. For example, went to Michigan. I don't know how much you got out of Michigan. Like you said, you learn things outside the class or because of the practical experience.
Exactly.
MBA mein practical experience mila.
Yeah.
So people, they overrate this friggin' 82 on 100 or 98 on 100 or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah, like Jen got 99 on 100 and she's stuck here in a no-end job, no future. So, I mean, sorry, Jen. But remember, there's always alcohol. Don't drink.
So that blew up. I don't know why.
But that's also because people follow you now. So everything you do, they're like looking under the microscope kind of thingy. But I think it's a good thing when you do that to show some sense of failure or disappointment on your side. But I think people should just understand everybody's human.
Totally. Yeah. And everybody fails. It's not the fact that the ones succeeding are never failed or have done everything right in their life.
Also, this point where you didn't expect to get bad marks because you studied for it, you know the subject, you still did badly, which is also something that happens to people.
Yeah.
Because there's so many permutations and combinations and variables people don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I blame God. Or gods.
Do you remember your class 12 marks?
64% or something.
Which was higher than you expected?
No, average. No, not higher. I mean, I passed Hindi 50 and I passed maths. I forgot what I got. They're my 2 weak subjects. I got 90 in literature and 90 in history. My 2 good subjects. I was like a woman. I didn't like maths. It's not the right thing to say today, but you know. What to do? All the boys are good at maths except me. Oh, sad life here. Okay, what is the last day till we can fool someone in the name of April's Fool? Madman Rocks is asking you for advice because it's still April and he screwed up on April 1st.
April 2nd.
बस हो गया?
That's it, खत्म. इतना time नहीं मिलेगा. Like life
Sorry,
doesn't
beta.
wait, boss.
Sorry, beta.
हाँ.
April 2nd.
It's
Because
like
we are third world country, so 1 day behind.
हाँ.
Maximum. Have you done any April Fool jokes? Is that your thing?
In the past, no, not anymore. It became too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah, but what do you do next? You have to,
it's like
yeah.
you just get.
Then you murder someone.
So
shit.
Or just die yourself. Right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
cancer. Right?
Yeah,
It's like not.
Yeah.
Not
No, the
funny
worst
anymore.
part is someone's hanging from a cliff and you go to save them, then you say, April Fool. Disco Station, if you were to describe your investment strategy using only emojis, which one would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good
Please
one.
give common ones.
Common ones. I would. Fire would not be the right one because that would almost suggest it's a
Could be
rocket
destructive.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I would. What would be a good thing for something slow and steady? What would be a good emoji for slow and steady? A tortoise?
My marriage?
Yeah, like a tortoise.
We don't have tortoise. कहाँ से आते हैं
Who
emoji?
puts these tortoise का कौन emoji डालेगा? What would be it?
Put the guy with the sunglasses, no? Because I think you've got a very sunny personality and there's a certain positivity, which is, again, a very prepared quality of people, is just positive energy. I love positive energy. I just feel if the room has positive energy, everybody gets it.
Everybody
That's
gets
what I'm talking about in the gym also. People come with a negative attitude. They don't really want to work out. They kill the buzz.
Yeah.
And that's why we hit them physically.
The energy.
Which we shouldn't do because they're 86 years old. And that's wrong. Wait till they're 87. So you win. Make sure the fight is fair.
Give yourself a chance.
So I think if I had to sell you, I mean, you don't need to be sold, but I think there's a certain sunniness. And what do you think?
I'll
is
go
that a
with
fair
yours.
thing to say?
I'll go with yours.
Yeah?
I'll go with yours.
So whatever
I like
sunny, because your fire thing was right. I think the fire word is wrong. It's sunny that we're looking at.
Yes.
Because the sun, it's the power of the sun, you're harnessing that power and there's a brightness.
Understand.
God, I sound gay, man, at the end of this. I've been so nice, it's unbelievable. Let's hold hands and dance now. There's nowhere in Mumbai. We'll have to go to Baroda. Yeah. Listen, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
As
Cyrus.
we end, let's just look at the book again. Make epic money. You must have made epic money selling it. How much does it cost?
$3.99, but
$3.99.
usually
It's a pretty
sells
good
for
buy.
much
It's
lesser.
hardcover.
$3.99, yes.
Hardcover, $3.99.
I love hardcovers.
That's
I love
superb, bro.
hardcovers.
That's a steal.
Yes.
How did you get them to sell it for $3.99?
Force, and get it done.
Amazing.
On Amazon right now, it's selling for like $2.23 or something. Like just
Wow.
some crazy price.
Amazon, I tell you. Just pick up any money you want.
John.
Yeah.
Backside.
In India, the J becomes Z and all that. I like to include. I'm an inclusive guy.
Zero.
So, Amazon, and Raku. Have you watched Raku Chasm, India's greatest singer? You have to watch Raku. Raku would say things like Amazon.
Which is we saw one of his masterpieces right now.
Lob. It's called
Sure.
LOVE. Lob. We're going to get him on the show.
Love तुझे love मैं करता हूँ.
हाँ. Backside se. No, backside.com. Backside.com. Just in time. Okay, Ankur, thank you so much for being here. And as we leave, one last tip. What tip can we give us? The financial year is over. At the end of the day, you're a man who makes money and people expect to make money just listening to you.
It's a good time to start. Financial year start. Just reset everything. Start investing 20% of your salary. Wherever you feel comfortable with, 100 minus X is a great rule to start. And just stick to it. Just stick to it.
If you don't declare your tax, you can give more than 20% of your salary.
Absolutely.
You think,
Because you need some money for that bail that you need to.
yeah, but this tax payment is, show me other ways not to pay, no? What would you say?
Not earn.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to tell us that. We are very talented. This whole room, bro. Ankur, it's called Make Epic Money. Go buy it. Check him out. He's all over the place. I mean, you just have to print Ankur in and I think that's enough now. You don't do more than that. Is there a special website?
AnkurWarikoo.com.
Oh, imaginative. Cheers, man.
Thank you so much, man.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
man.
Yeah.